Hello guys, welcome to the second part of creating the abstract landscapey thing. My friend has already made part 1, in which he shows you how to create the landscape in World Machine. So if you haven't already, go check out that tutorial. We will start. Oh, by the way, you already see some materials because this is going to be more of a breakdown instead of a full-on like from the beginning tutorial. So, yeah, just go to File and Merge to import your terrain that you made. But I'm not gonna go for that, normal method. I'm gonna use a plugin. You don't really need it. It just takes a lot of time to import with the normal way, because the mesh you're gonna be exporting from World Machine is going to be high res, so it will be a big mesh. So it's gonna take a lot of time. I'm just using this to speed up that a little bit. So if you have it, plugins, Riptide Pro, OBJ importer, then just hit OK, and yep, what is it? I think it's this one. Yep, and just import it. Give it a few seconds, because even though you're using this plugin, it's still gonna take a few seconds up to a minute to import. So yeah, and there you go. It's done. Looks like it's flipped, or it's rotated in the wrong way. So you want to hit R for rotation and then rotate it 90 degrees, and there you go. Wait, what? Oh, looks like I am in the wrong window, so I need to go here. And that's your mesh after you imported it. Looks too small for my scene, so I'm just going to make it a little bigger. It's too much. That's still too much. Okay, next thing you want to do is make a plane. Just go to this cube here, make a plane, and then that is your plane. Make it a lot bigger than the thing itself, than the terrain itself. 1 second. Okay, so I need to make it bigger. Then we're not going to talk about the materials for now until we're done. You want to create an area light by going to here, then area light, then right click on it, via bridge, and add a via bridge light tag. For the light tag, you want to enable the shadows. Go into the area light tab here, change the area type to dome, then make it invisible, or if you want to add a sky in post-production, you should make this invisible. Otherwise, if you want to stick with the sky that comes with your HDRI that we're going to use here, just leave it as visible. So the subdivisions for now, we're going to keep them low, something like 64 maybe, and for the final render you might want to increase that, as I did. Turn on spherical dome and use texture, and then here load your HDRI image. There are plenty online, you can find the free ones. So yeah, I also went inside and changed the color profile to sRGB. That should make the shadows a bit sharper, I think. And yeah, add another light this time make it a spotlight. Then you want to select it and then move it away from your terrain. This is our terrain here, so move it away. This light will act as a sun to give us the yellow sun lighting. Then you want to right click. You might want to also to go to your side view and just move it higher a bit. You want to right click on your light, V-Ray bridge tags again, V-Ray light again, and then you want to change your light color to something like this, a little bit yellow / orange. Then enable your shadows again. That's for that. For the render settings for now, you want to go to your renderer, choose V-Ray bridge, then in indirect illumination turn GI on. I'm using brute force for this particular render because it gives better shadows. You can use the classic chaos group setups, but if you are a bit patient and would like a better render, I suggest you choose brute force. Choose the medium preset maybe. Then in brute force GI, for the final render, you would probably have to increase these subdivisions because the render will be noisy. Something like 128 should do the job. 256. Go to color mapping, change it to exponential. I think that's it. I'm not sure if I turned linear workflow on or off. Yep, it's on by default, but to avoid any conflict between V-Ray and Cinema4D when it comes to textures, you should probably Control D to open these project settings and turn off linear workflow here for Cinema4D. That's it pretty much. Now we should work on the materials. So for the main, the camera, forgot the camera. Just use a new camera, make a new camera here, control, right click on it, V-Ray bridge tags, V-Ray physical camera, and then for these settings, first of all change the white balance preset to neutral. These settings will be, you'll have to play with them to get your like brightness correctly, because it will either be too bright or too dark, so you would want to play with these settings. That's pretty much it for the lighting and main objects. Now to the materials. For the main terrain, you want to create a new material, create shader, V-Ray bridge advanced. Then in your diffuse layer, click this arrow and Fresnel or Fresnel. In your Fresnel, just I chose these colors because I think they look pretty nice. So if you want to copy the codes, here they are. Those are the values, and then for the other color, those are the values. But if you want to go for your own color, then that'll be better. That's pretty much all I did for the base material. And then for the creases, for the flow map material, I created another material, create shader, V-Ray bridge advanced material. I went to the diffuse layer, don't pay attention to that now, and I chose this color because it goes well with the other one. And then in material material weight, just click here and then load your flow map that you have exported from World Machine. After you've imported it, click on this thing and then go filter. We just want to increase the contrast a bit for this flow map, and that's pretty much it for the terrain. For the plane here it's going to be a reflective surface. So you want to create a new material again, then leave diffuse as it is, go to your specular, make sure use Fresnel is off. It would be like this, just take off use Fresnel and then change the amount to something like 8, and in here it will be like this. Just click here and load your texture. For this particular one I use this texture here. It's concrete texture but I just want to use it to break the evenness of the surface and the glossiness, so it's not like, it doesn't look like a mirror. It has these, if you can see, 1 second for it to load. It just makes it look like this, just much better. For the glossiness subdivisions, oh yeah, for the filter I just, you need to play with, you need to have this, just keep looking at it while changing these values so that it's not too blurry nor like completely reflective like a mirror. For the glossiness subdivisions, again, same story. You wanna, while playing with the render, you want to have a low value, but for your final render you should increase this value a lot, something like 4064 or 128. Just keep increasing until it's not too noisy and it doesn't take too long to render, because that increases your render times. For now that's it. It's pretty much it. If you go to your camera, by the way, I changed its focal length here to 200, makes it a bit more interesting. And in the camera again, I turned on depth of field, changed the subdivisions, and that's pretty much it. This thing is too big. Alright, I have added these objects here just to make the scene a bit more interesting, because otherwise it's boring. It's just a cylinder, a pyramid, and then this torus around it, and on top of the torus I made a sphere. It's a hemisphere, like to act like a dome, and then in the middle I have this beam looking thing coming out. For the materials of these objects, I made this one. Just create again, normal V-Ray material. I turned off diffuse, I turned on refraction, and in refraction I added a texture and glossiness. So again, same thing that we did for this material, we do for this one, but instead of in specular, we do it in refraction. So just click here, load a texture, then click on the arrow and filter. Inside of the filter, again, same story. I just play with the values until it's neither too glossy or just completely see-through. So you're gonna have to do that. Maybe it will be annoying because it takes some time to appear, for the update to appear. So yeah. And I just turned on specular, left it the way it is, just made the reflection glossiness 0.87 and the glossiness subdivisions to 64. That's for the material of these objects here, the cylinder, the pyramid and stuff. For the material of this dome, it's updating. For the material of the dome, it's a simple VRAM material again. Turned off diffuse, turned on the refraction, and made the IOR 1.19, which is the specular. Just left it the way it is, and just turn it on. In material weight, basically, I think, yeah, you can do this. Oh no, you need to create to add a color. So basically, what the material weight does, it's like the opacity option in Photoshop or After Effects. If the color here is white, the object will be invisible. If the color there is black, the object will be visible, and all the values in between mean like a certain percentage of opacity. So I wanted it to be not so visible, so I just made it this gray, maybe more, and that's basically it. I assigned the material to the dome. There's another material which is for this tube or this thing going up right here. It's just another VRAM material with luminosity layer on it, set to 200%. That's basically it. For your camera, you should go to your like object settings, then in your focus, because you want the camera to focus on this object. So just maybe select it and put it right here in the focus object. That should make the camera focus on that particular object. For the reflective surface, when you assign the material, you might want to change the projection to cubic and change the value lengthen U, because it will either be too big or too small depending on your scene. So just change it. To fix that, just change these values, either make them too big, larger, or smaller. That's pretty much it. Let's just go to output, set our resolution. I set it to full HD, and save it as a PNG or PSD file. Name it, save it, and that's pretty much it. Then hit render. Let's do a little preview here. Oh, my bad. I forgot to assign the materials to the terrain. And there's a little trick you need to know, which is like the first base material, just put it on. The other one, as you can see, we don't want the whole thing to be blue. We just want it to appear on the creases here already in the model. So just put it again on the same object. But for them to both work, change this thing. Just check mix textures. That should make both textures work in the same time. If we do another render here, so as you can see, there's the base pink material, and then there are these blue lines on top of it. That's basically it. So just hit render and wait for it to finish. No. Just wait for it here to run. Okay, so after a long time, the render is done, and now it's for the post-processing part. For this part, I will use After Effects, and then I'll use Photoshop. First, let's just open After Effects, import your image, although I'm not sure if it's saved. PNG, okay. Now import it, refresh, where is it? Here it is. Make a new comp with your image. Just click and drag it here on this composition icon. Then we will need a little plugin called Red Giant Magic Bullet Looks. If you don't have it, you really need it, because it's really a must. It provides many effects, many tools to improve your image or video. So if you don't have it, get it. There are many ways to get it, both legal and illegal ways, but you know. Looks. Just click and drop it on your image. Click edit. A little window with filters and stuff will appear, and sometimes it does take a few seconds because my computer is getting old. Okay. We are straight going to use a filter. We're not going to waste a lot of time adding effects and stuff. We're just going to use this particular filter. It's called Tanzania, and it's in the filters category. Then we are going to add some chromatic aberration from post. Click and drag, put it here, and just add a little bit of chromatic aberration. And there it is. Straight out looks much better. We are going to import few more things, few textures that we will need, or to have more control we will just go and do that in Photoshop. So in your timeline here, go all the way to the beginning and hit N, then comp pre-render. In your output module, just change it to PNG sequence. Make sure no compression is there, and then specify your directory of where you want to save it. Mountains. No. Mountain. Yes. Save. And then just render. Should not take long. There, it's done. Let's open it here in Photoshop. Where is it? Then let's open the folder that contains those effects. Mountain. Let's add. Oh, I have here. Okay. I have this dust texture, which is very cool. Makes the picture a little bit better. Just add it in, scale it up, and then change its mode here to screen. Maybe lower the opacity. Load the other one. Which one is it? This. This one I will invert. Where is that? Edit. Okay, never mind. Just and then change it to multiply. Then we are going to import this little smoke texture. All of this you can find in Google. Just Google images, and yeah, it's pretty much all there. So I'll add this one here, lower the opacity, then this one too I got from Google Images. I will use it in a different way. What is it? Change its size. So basically what I want to do is have this little cylinder that's coming out of the pyramid be illuminated, as if it's like a beam of light going up. So I will add this thing, then change it to screen again, then use a mask, take the brush, make it bigger, and just paint here with black. Again, I will experiment with this one, though I'm not very sure if it'll work. Then change it to screen, again a mask. Maybe to add more illumination to the thing, to the cylinder. Make a new layer, take a selection tool, just paint here with white, then make it a little bit blurry. Make another layer with the same thing. Oh, I did that on the same layer. And that's pretty much it. You can just do some typo here, add some text or something. Otherwise, I think that's it. Pretty much from this to this. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and hopefully see you in the next one. Peace.